implications of added on time in the Premier League this season. So for me, this was a topic we discussed last season. I was passionate about this because it has always been shown that the time that the ball is in play during football matches has been dropping consistently. So, like, I think last season it dropped to like 52, 53 minutes of the ball in play, or even less. I think in some divisions it dropped to 48 minutes of the ball in
Wow.
play out of 90 minutes. Yeah, it dropped
Wow.
because some players are wasting time. When the ball is dead, they're arguing with the referee, or they are going to quickly drink water, or when they are being substituted, they'll go and take they're gonna take the long round before they're just doing different things. Time was being wasted, and I know I was really passionate about you have to like the Premier League have to follow the step of FIFA because FIFA in the World Cup
Right.
recognized this issue and started adding on plenty time. So if you waste time, they'll add it on. Like if you waste 10 minutes, they'll add it 10 minutes. Premier League didn't do that last season, but finally they've adopted it this season. But now, where I'm going to ask about for us to discuss is we are seeing the counterpoint to it. For example, Varane is complaining that they are not taking players into account. Like, so players, they sign up to play 90 minutes or 95 minutes, but now players are having to play 110 minutes. This is not good for player welfare. They can start picking up injuries. And then another thing, like Gary Neville, I saw Gary Neville and Carragher, they had an interview with Howard Webb. Webb, the referees, like the head of the referee, PGMOL. So they brought us something interesting. So there's also a rule now they've added. If you get injured, because they know some players lie, they just pretend to get injured. So now they said if you say you're injured, you have to go off the pitch and you have to wait 30 seconds before coming back on. So Gary Neville
Yes.
was not saying that okay, what in a case in which, for example, like today, Jota got injured, like really injured, and then he was fit to come back before 30 seconds. But now you're saying you're punishing the guy that got injured and you're punishing his team by not letting them come back on. So I'll go to Ola first. What look at the pros and cons of this time added on and all this time wasting strategies that have been they're trying to curb it. What is your view on the way forward? Do you think this is the way forward for them to do it, or do you think they should be stronger? They should be stricter with time wasting strategies? Ola.
I think adding on this time makes sense. I think from the fans' perspective and referees, you want the game to flow. We've always boasted about that. In our game of football, that there's no timeouts, there's no, it's constant motion. The clock keeps running, and if that's to mean anything, then you do need to add that time on and allow for fans that are to not just be watching the ball out of play or people on the ground and those things. So I'm for it. I liked it in the World Cup. The amount of time that added on, it adds to the drama of the game. It's just helpful. Of course, I know it can get ridiculous when we start having 12 minutes added on or what, but I think that, and my hope is that overall, once players realize, hey, look, if I'm going to be time wasting, all of that is going to be added onto the back end. The hope is that it takes away the time wasting in the front end, and that people just continue going. I like today that Trent still got a yellow card for time wasting. But though, I don't know that he wasted too much time, but it was showing that despite the fact that there's this new rule of adding time on, the referees are still watching for people time wasting and are still going to be booking for it. I get the point about player injury and those types of things,
Yeah.
but the truth is that, but the way I feel about that is that, players can get injured at whatever time and whatnot, but it's not going to be because we added on 6 minutes is going to be the sole factor of a player getting injured or a player not getting injured.
Yeah, I don't have as much on it, to be honest with you. I really don't, because it's not that bad. I mean, the World Cup is so like 10, 12 minutes, right? Yes, there
Okay.
are conditioning issue, which is a legitimate thing. But if you're having 40% of the ball being played out of 19 minutes, it's actually a concern. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I'm indifferent. I haven't seen anything yet that I just want to know, are they adding the amount lost like they did in FIFA, or are they just estimating?
It appears that they're trying to add the amount that's lost. You know, if you 2 minutes for injury, that 2 minute gets added on.
I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Like if we know time wasting is a legitimate thing.
Right, I agree.
Right, so I'm okay with that. Like, except we finally see somebody with a loophole, then I would say. But for now,
right.
I honestly think it's fair.
To that point, some one of the pundits made that sort of comment about players might use it as a loophole. If the losing team is going to need more time, then maybe I time waste now. And then to get that time on. But I honestly, I don't see why.
I don't see the advantage of that.
Liverpool, you can tell they're going to score a lot of goals. Luis Diaz, the man looks reborn. I think Darwin Núñez, I think he's going to get goals. Mohamed Salah, of course, the threat is always there. Liverpool's midfield, that thing is like a 24-hour Walmart, bro. Anybody can walk in. Anybody walks in. Anybody can get what they want. That midfield, like for as good as Szoboszlai is, as good as McAllister is, bro, they just don't provide enough cover for Konate and for Van Dijk. And I feel bad. I feel bad for Klopp because people will look at him and say that you spent money on this, you spent money on that, but that man has no cover for his defense, and he has no cover for a defense that has Konate in it. Konate is like Upamecano, just one level above Upamecano, right? Virgil van Dijk is not the same Van Dijk from 3-4 seasons ago. So the need for a defensive cover for Liverpool is even greater now than it was 3-4 years ago. So but that's all I'm gonna say with Liverpool. Chelsea, bruv, these men are going to be a problem. Nicholas Jackson, Ola, you were right. Ola Chelsea, you were right. The boy is good. I like the way Nicholas Jackson, he stretches the defense.
Absolutely.
He pulls the center back out of position, and he's quick, he's tricky, and he's not bad aerially. Like if you put him against big Premier League defenders, he's not going to perform too badly in the air. So I just can't wait to see what Pochettino does with him in terms of his development and his finishing ability.
I was impressed when Liverpool put that money up. I was shocked. I was impressed. But then are we not going to talk about this? Everybody bashes the Russians, everybody bashes the Saudi, everybody bashes the Americans. Me, I won't lie. Everybody comes with their madness into the sport, and I love it. I'm not all about it. The fact is, Americans found a way to tie people to 8 years contracts. Totally. The fact they found a way to go and bid for somebody Brighton wanted just to put pressure on Brighton to sell this guy, and found out that Liverpool too was interested and put pressure on Liverpool's guy, and Liverpool got mad and came back for this guy.
It's a saga. This kind of saga, I'm not saying. I know there have been transfer sagas, but this one is like a love triangle. I've not seen this kind of love triangle. This love triangle that Liverpool and Chelsea, and it's crazy. Like you can't write it because it's just like what's happening here. This is like a TV show. It's like a soap opera now. Because everybody's now putting pressure. It's like a standoff now. Okay, who will blink first?
Who blink first?
Will Liverpool withdraw their bid? Because that's the thing now. If Liverpool withdraw their bid, then Chelsea don't have to pay 110 million.
I think Liverpool already signaled that they will withdraw the bid.
They've not.
Still in. First thing. Then obviously Chelsea's going to have to bid because and they're saying wage structure. I don't think it's only wage structure. I think the kid has been committed to Chelsea for a long time. I really do think people have been walking the channels for a very long time. It would take a Spanish team and when I mean a Spanish team, we're talking like Real Madrid level, Barcelona level.
But that's the thing, Idris. This boy, that's the fear some Liverpool fans are having now. Okay, even if Liverpool got him, let's just assume because very unlikely. People are saying like after 2 years, 3 years, this Spanish team you're talking about to come for him, Madrid will come for him, and my guy will just pack his load and said, "I'm gone."
That's when United. That's when I hear the rubbish like it's been my dream to play for since I was a kid. You're like, I'm mad.
He wanted to go to Arsenal in January now. This guy wanted to go to Arsenal in January.
You mean Caicedo?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, they
Yeah.
said
Oh yes.
That's what we for him.
Look, he's ready to make the next step up,
He was
and
striking.
he wants the money too. I mean, he came for what was it, 4.5 million? I think he came to Brighton, and now he'll be going out at 100 and God knows what million. So, for now, speaking of like other clubs wanting him and those things, that's why he's perfect to go to Chelsea, because Chelsea will sign you on a 15-year deal. Anybody that wants you, okay, let them come.
See, whoever believed, and Chelsea sells good, and this is where
Chelsea have
I
sold
will
very
not
well
lie.
this season. Yeah.
I will not lie. Chelsea sells. I know the FA is investigating one Morata deal. Nothing will come out.
Yeah, but it's your owner that actually reported your club.
He's just overdoing. He's overdoing.
It's
Nothing.
It's for sure. Come investigate this thing.
Let's not look at this exactly.
Come investigate this one.
If he leaves tomorrow and that person come out, they will find something. You can't be moving that kind of money without a little bit of things happening.
You have Enzo for over 100 million. Now you want to add this guy. Let us have one too.
If anybody watched today's game, you would understand why we need Caicedo in this game. Like
I know. I'm just joking.
What kind of Conor Gallagher played? No Chelsea fan can admit that they saw that today. Nobody can admit. No, man, that guy. No. There's a joke we used to have. I want to keep it family. I used to call the guy like too much energy, no sense. Like he's just like we call him a crackhead. Like this guy is just going 247, no bearing. But today he balled like a senior player. You get, and for Liverpool at one point in time had a chokehold on us, man. Like when Caicedo, when Enzo started dropping back and supporting, Conor Gallagher, we won the midfield.
It was a deserved man of the match performance. I think that
exactly. I never seen.
We discussed this earlier.
I didn't. Yeah. Enzo, I mean, he I don't know if it's only World Cup and first game of season that he saves this for, but this is the Enzo we'll be seeing from now on. Because if it is, wow.